Book 241. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about the original riddle of the Sphinx. That's right, the original riddle of the Sphinx. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, for many thousands of years and in many different cultures, the most skilled craftsmen would design for people a Sphinx statue that was supposed to be able to protect or guard something of great value. Although the specific design of the Sphinx was subject to change, its general nature always remained constant. The Sphinx was always depicted with the head of a human being and the body of a large cat. The human head could be either male or female, and the body could be either a lion or a leopard. Quite often, the Sphinx was depicted with wings on its back, but this was not always the case. In Greek mythology, the only way to gain safe passage into whatever area the Sphinx was protecting, one would have to answer a riddle. Failure to answer this riddle correctly would always end in death. There is a story told of a hero named Oedipus who answered one of the most famous riddles in history. This riddle, however, was not the original riddle associated with the original Sphinx. In fact, the oldest Sphinx on the planet with the oldest riddle on record is found in the land of Egypt, and its riddle has only been answered once in history. One of my ancestors, no less, was the man who solved this most ancient of riddles, and the answer has been passed down directly to me from mouth to ear. I was told that the mighty Sphinx in Egypt was built over 40,000 years ago, and it was not originally called a Sphinx. In fact, its original name was pronounced something like Hor-em-Akhet, and it was used to protect the passageway to the site where the gods from another world were buried. The same gods who many cultures claim lived alongside man in the distant past. My ancestor, who was a particularly curious man, knew that he would die if he got the answer to the riddle wrong, but he still traveled to Egypt and risked his life in order to satisfy his curiosity. After crossing the burning sands of the desert, he stood before Hor-em-Akhet and listened to his riddle. The massive Sphinx suddenly came to life and began to speak. I am like an enigma, wrapped inside of a maze and placed at the center of a labyrinth, Hor-em-Akhet began. The only way to gain access to this labyrinth is by solving the puzzle that can only be solved by answering the riddle placed at the back of the labyrinth. What am I? My ancestor stood there for 3 days straight as he thought diligently about his answer, knowing that he only had one chance. If he answered incorrectly, he would die the death like so many who attempted to answer before him. After 3 days, however, my ancestor thought he had figured it out. You are life, my ancestor replied. Life is like an enigma wrapped inside of a maze, because to understand the purpose and meaning of life is the most difficult of things to do. And the labyrinth within which life is placed in the middle of is this planet Earth in the realm of physical existence. And it is said that the only way to gain access to this labyrinth or to this realm of physical existence is by solving the puzzle and answering the riddle at the back of the labyrinth, because the back of the labyrinth represents the end of life, death, in the other realm where the ancestors and gods dwell. Every spirit which is born into this world must first come from this other realm into this physical realm. So indeed, Hor-em-Akhet, you are life. Hor-em-Akhet looked down at my ancestor and said, You are indeed correct. You have answered my riddle, and thus you are allowed to see the place where the bodies of the gods are buried. And so, the morning motivation of today is the original riddle of the Sphinx. The secret which has been hidden from you is the fact that you chose to come here from somewhere else. And now that you are here, everything which happens to you is just and fair because you knew the possibilities when you first arrived. So do not waste time complaining about the struggles of life. Instead, concentrate on the desires of your heart. Remember what it is you came to earth to do. Do that with all of your heart and always strive to do that which is good. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. To order books by the author Matthew Daniels, search Matthew Daniels on Amazon.com or visit www.dandyandbigherm.com.